One of the worst traps that I see startup founders fall into is the sunk cost fallacy, or a general fear of failure. And in my last episode with the CEO of Creately, the thing that stuck out to me the most about him was he had a true innovator's mindset, which means he was willing to sacrifice the success of the present in order to forge ahead into the future. So he had this company back in 2008 that was a market leader, but was built on Flash, a technology that was doomed to go away. And they had scaled up to 2 million customers with this antiquated technology. And when the writing was on the wall and the industry was shifting away from Flash and towards Ajax, or sort of the modern UI front-end frameworks, there was a lot of debate within his leadership team whether to try to defend the market share that they had and basically turn into a legacy platform, or to be willing to sacrifice it and move forward and rebuild the platform with a new technology in order to be positioned in the future. And he had the foresight to do that, to say anything that has been built today, any success that we've had so far, if it doesn't take us into the future, it has zero value, which made it easier for him to make that decision, right? And so they had this long transition phase where they had to obviously build the new platform, which was limited in the features that they had built up over many years. And they had to migrate all of their existing 2 million customers onto this new platform. It was very painful. They lost revenue along the way, but it set them up to grow and expand with the new, shift, the new trend in the market. And then that happened again several years later when the digital collaboration space had become saturated, right? And in fact, many other platforms were starting to build this functionality natively into their tools. He realized what we've built up until this point is not going to take us into the future. And now we've got 10 million customers, but still we have to pivot, we have to adapt and move into the future. And essentially by capturing a deeper niche within the market and developing a more robust set of AI-powered functionality to create a more rich and robust workflow than these more generalized digital whiteboarding tools could possibly do. And so this is the thing that really stood out to me. And my big takeaway from this episode is that if you're a founder and you've built something, you will feel like you have something to lose because you've put so much of yourself into it, right? And it could be, a storefront, a position in the market. It could be a feature, it could be a piece of code, anything that you've built where you see, you've invested a lot into it. There's money on the line. There's customers, there's revenue tied to this thing. But in your heart of hearts that by hanging on to that, you're sacrificing the opportunity of the future, right? This is like I'm hanging on to, a piece of driftwood after a shipwreck, and I see the shore. And at some point, I've got to let go of this thing, this temporary, right? This temporary shelter in order to move on into the future. The great entrepreneurs, the ones that make it, are the ones that are willing to face this challenge head on. And again, be willing to sacrifice and even fail, even lose, because they would rather be relevant and they'd rather own their course in the future than to try to hang on for dear life to a sinking ship. So if you're in any of these situations right now, if there's a challenge that you're facing where you feel like I've got too much to lose, right? Think about instead, how much do I have to gain, right? If I take this risk, if I sacrifice what I have today, is there a bigger opportunity that's out there? And yes, by navigating that chasm, by swimming through that open water, you are risking what you've left behind, right? But either what you're leaving behind is doomed to fail in time anyway, or it's simply smaller. It's a smaller opportunity than what you could get if you made that leap, right? So think about what's the value of what I'm trying to defend today? What's the opportunity of what I want to chase after? And again, a true innovator, a true entrepreneur is going to chase after that big opportunity every time. All right. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Thanks so much. See you next time.